Hello and welcome back to another Nerf combos video on my channel. My name is Luke Triton and today we are covering the Zombie Strike Revoltinator. This is a semi-automatic blaster that is magazine fed from the Zombie Strike line, and it is very interesting to think about how combos will work for this blaster. If you saw my review, you will understand that the proportions of this blaster is very weird. The whole section, the whole firing section is all happening here, so from this to here is the integrated barrel. The stock is tiny, and of course this is a built-in stock, so I can't attach any. And with where the tactical rails are placed, one at the top here on the carry handle and one underneath the barrel itself, and of course we have a barrel attachment point, it's interesting to say the least. There isn't going to be too much going on for this blaster, but it has that potential. Now in these combos episodes I look at three traditional classes: the heavy, close quarters and long range. We then go into my personal combo and then any gimmicks after that. First, as always, is the heavy. This is the state of things. This is how it's going to go. So if I try and stand in front of the shield this time, we have two attachments. We have the Stampede shield, which I would really love to see return in Zombie Strike details because of this grill section here. I think that looks really cool. And to kind of stare behind it like this, it's menacing. It just works. I love it so much. The biggest magazine I have is the 35 dart drum magazine from the Raider. I would love to have the 50 dart drum from the Titan, but as of the time of recording this, nobody is selling them on their own. So yeah, it's just a matter of waiting, I suppose. Here's to hoping Nerf sells them on their own in the future, but for now, 35 dart drum will do the job. At the front, on the under rail, I suppose as a temporary nickname for it, is the Zombie Strike Twin Slice. This isn't the sort of thing where you would kind of fire at the hip, where I've done it with past blasters with that handle barrel that comes with the regulator. Instead, you just hold it not in your shoulder, but just upright like this, get some shots off, pull it in, grab a twin slice, give it a throw, and just get in the enemy's face. It doesn't look too intimidating. Well, the blaster definitely does, but in terms of attachments, it's not doing too much. But something's better than nothing. This is my heavy combo. The second combo is close quarters. This is really finicky, mainly for aiming down sights because of how high the carry handle is. The carry handle has a tactical rail, so when you go to put your cheek on the piece down here and aim down sights, you're looking down the top of the rail, and going for any optical attachment is kind of difficult. So instead of putting my cheek to this, I'm putting my chin on this, and whilst I can definitely see down the sights, it's not particularly comfortable, so that's why making these other combos is particularly difficult. Up front we have the barrel attachment that came with the ion fire. This is already a really long barrel, there's no point to really have anything on there, but you know, for the sake of having something on there, this is what I went with. And I don't really like this grip. I'd rather have something at the front, and given the proportions, it's not too bad to have my hand up here, but I may as well have something a bit more functional than a plain grip, and this is the blaster grip. 2 extra shots, why not? The magazine in question is an 18 dart magazine. I do prefer my drums, but I want to be able to use this stick mag more often. It is definitely a popular magazine amongst all nerfers, and whilst again I prefer my drums, there's no reason not to use this. All in all, it's still a good looking combo. It's something that doesn't shout too much, it's not very colourful. You can definitely use this in multiple situations. This is my close quarters combo. The last of the 3 traditional classes is long range. As you can see, this is not a sniper. This is really weird looking, but I thought, you know what, let's make something that really emphasises that long barrel. Despite that, I'm only using 1 barrel attachment, as I have done with past combos, and that is the long range barrel that comes with the long range kit. Of the same kits, we have everybody's favourite sniper scope. I think this still looks really cool, but in terms of aiming down sights, you kind of have to rest your chin on the piece instead of your cheek, which is really odd and not something you're going to get used to. But if you want to be able to do that, that's just an option you might have to consider. Or you just have your head float like this. Again, depending on how you position the blaster into your shoulder, it's just another thing to consider. And since this is a very lengthy blaster, we're going with a very lengthy bipod. This is the one from the Centurion, and it's still my favourite bipod compared to the one that comes with the long range kit included with these two, which was nearly what I used, but I thought, well, just having 1 kit, it's interesting, but it's a combo in itself, which everybody has seen before, just a little bit different. And also the bipod grip that comes with the Stampede was also considered, and I nearly went with that because I thought, well, it is comfortable to have a grip there, but at the same time, whilst you got the bipod deployed, let me actually do that now. So when you have the bipod deployed, without breaking it, goodness. My Centurion bipod isn't the smoothest thing ever. So yeah, finally, when you've got it deployed, you don't really have your hand here. You're basically going to have your hand on the magazine, if anything, lying down, taking pot shots, or at least that's the idea. So, this is my long-range combo. And now we come to my personal combo. It's all happening at the front. So I've only got 2 attachments. Again, this is a very interestingly proportioned blaster, but this is something I'm okay with. So this is the handle barrel that comes with the regulator, and I'm using this in a more heavy setup. Not so much a rifle that I would put in my shoulder, but something that I'd rather just have down here and kind of just be a bit more aggressive with, since it has that aggressive look to it. Again, nothing to top this barrel. There isn't really any need because of how long the integrated barrel is. And I'm using a different shield. This is probably the first video I'm making with this now in my arsenal. This is a Super Soaker shield. I believe this came with the Lightning Storm, the same blaster that came with that really sturdy stock that everybody loves. Yeah, so I'm going with this shield because of its overall shape and because it has a transparent nature to it. I can still wield this and get down plenty of fire whilst seeing what I'm aiming at. If I were to use the Stampede shield in its place, it's going to be completely difficult to able to see what I'm actually firing at without having to move every so often, so that is a really nice plus. The magazine is my beloved 30 dot drum from the infamous. 30 is a nice round number, and the shape of this drum is nice and round as well. It's symmetrical on both sides, it's centered, and it feeds much better than the 35 dot drum that I have from the Raider. So yeah, all in all, this is how I would set up the Revoltinator in a Nerf war. And now we have the first of 2 gimmick combos because this is a Zombie Strike blaster and more Zombie Strike themed attachments are coming out. This is Zombie Struck. This is kind of funky. I actually really like this. I love that there are more attachments towards some of the lines, where you look at some of the Elite attachments, they're all in blue. Modulus attachments are all in white, and the Zombie Strike attachments are again in appropriate colours, but more so they have their own sort of look and feel to them. At the front, this is the spike tooth barrel that comes with the Zoom and Doom kit and with the nail biter. This is very interesting because it has, again, a spike tooth end, and you can change the length of the barrel if you want. It's ridiculously, like, just look at that, my god, but still, that's kind of funny. On the underbarrel, since that's what I called it earlier, we have the Scavenger light. How do I actually turn this on? I've never used this before. Well, not in a long time at least. There we go. So it is just as dim as other Nerf attachment lights, but, you know, for legal reasons it has to be. And it's in the Zombie Strike theme, so we're going to use it. And for the optic, we have the Scavenger scope with a built-in magazine holder. Now, I'm going with the Zombie Strike 12 dart magazines because I have 2 of these, and I only have one Zombie Strike 18 dart stick mag. This is the one, again, that comes with the Revoltinator. It's all Zombie Strike themed. And it looks ridiculous. Actually, you know what? Looking at it now on camera, this looks really cool. I actually quite like this. This is Zombie Struck. And now for the last combo of the episode. This is technology. Oh, good god. So, this is a blaster that is powered by flywheels, it has lights, and it has sounds. I'm not going to play the lights and sounds here because it is stupid loud, and I kind of want to... You know what? Since I brought it up, I may as well. So turn your volume down now. Brace yourselves. Ready? Yeah. And just the last one. Okay, there we go. So you hear it all going off at once, and it is an interesting blaster to say the least. But there are other electronic attachments that Nerf has made. This is a scope I've been wanting to get for a long while. I remember buying this with the original Vortex blaster. What is it called? Oh, I actually can't... Nitron, I think it's called. Yeah, remember that blaster? Oh, the scope is what I care about. This is... I'm going to have to take it off because it's so long on the end of the barrel. This is a scope that lights up. How cool is that? This is something that's going on my new personal combo for the regulator. And going to the front, my god, just look at that mess. The blue barrel is the Retaliator barrel, which has 2 tactical rails, which means I can put more attachments on. On the top, you can see, is the camera that came with a shitty Modulus blaster. Can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but I don't have one. I don't care for it. It was clip-fed. Nobody likes it. Moving on. Underneath is the Recon red laser pointer. One thing that I would love to see return in modulus colors because it's a red laser pointer. You know, bring it back, why not? You've reskinned a bunch of other things in the past. And because that has a tactical rail, there is another electronic attachment, which is a torch. That's the word. Had to stall for a bit there. A laser pointer and a torch are two different things. This is a laser pointer, this is a torch. So yes, we have a total of 4 electronic attachments. I did try to add the chrono barrel on the end and use a modulus attachment barrel, but it got really front heavy and my hand was tipping forward and it was a bit too much. But all in all, getting this in... Oh, by the way, just before we go, I nearly skipped this, but I thought, well, I skipped the magazine for the close quarters combo, I believe it was. May as well keep it in, you know, first take it all. This is the 25 dot drum that you can get with various blasters. The magazine doesn't matter because it's not electronic, but this combo does matter. This is technology. So there we have it. That is the combos episode for the Zombie Strike Revoltinator. It was difficult to pull off because of the proportions of the blaster. I've said it so many times in this video and in the review, but it's something that was possible, so I may as well give it a go. It's not the best thing ever, but it's definitely a fun blaster. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all ever so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye.